But I want to ask you a question. It's been reported by our national broadcaster this morning that the Supreme Court ruled that you deliberately planted a genetically modified Monsanto seed in your crops. And I just want to know if this is a correct report or if you could straighten the record for that for once and for all.
In my view, if you're not planting something intending to grow a Roundup Ready crop, meaning some crop you're intending to spray with Roundup, you know, I don't see where that goes. But as far as the Supreme Court was concerned, and the lower courts latched onto that too, that the cultivation of plants with the gene in it was sufficient to be infringement.
Today, as I said, it's a personal victory. 6 years of legal battle. When we stood up to Monsanto back in 1998, we never realized it would ever go this far. And one other point I'd like to make, especially comments from about the biotech industry. You always have to remember, Monsanto laid the lawsuit against me. I did not lay the lawsuit against Monsanto. They were the ones to start it. And my wife and I took the position that a farmer should never ever lose his rights to use the seed from year to year. And that was the basis we fought that, for the rights of farmers. And I know that if my grandfather and my father was here today, that's exactly what they would want me to do, because that's the reason they came to this country, to be free and to use their seeds from year to year and plant them and grow them. Monsanto's patent on a gene is valid. And wherever that gene arises, by whatever means, in any higher life form, they own and control that life form. And when I use the term higher life form, I don't only mean seeds or plants. It's birds, bees, animals, even a human being. So now we have more questions than we have answers in Canada in regards who owns life.
Since 2004, Percy Schmeiser has not planted canola on his farm and is growing wheat, oats and peas instead. But increasingly there are volunteers of Roundup-resistant canola on his fields. He informed Monsanto, which tested the plants and confirmed them as being their patented canola. But they would not remove the plants unless a full release and non-disclosure agreement was signed.
And in that release form, first of all, they said, we can never ever talk to anyone, to the press or our neighbors, what the terms of settlement were.
They wanted us to sign, give all our rights away. Well, that was no way we were going to do that. There's no way we'd give our freedom of speech away, and and that they wanted us that we could never take them to court for the rest of our lives. And it wasn't only Percy and myself; it was our children. They wanted that they would have to, that they decided too that they would never speak anything wrong against Monsanto, and that's the reason why we didn't want to sign it, because there's no way we want to give our rights away to a corporation.
Monsanto said, okay, we won't remove the plants then. Then I told Monsanto, then we are going to remove them. I will get help, and we will remove the plants, and we will send you the bill. Monsanto immediately sent us an email and said, you're not allowed to do to those plants whatever you want because they're our property. So I told them, it's your property, it's on my property, we own the land, we pay the taxes, get your property off our land.
Percy hired a neighbor to remove the plants and sent the bill to Monsanto for a total amount of 600 Canadian dollars. Monsanto refused to pay, and Louise Schmeiser filed a claim in the local small claims court.
Can you imagine the embarrassment to Monsanto, a billion-dollar corporation, coming to court for $600? But 5 minutes before the trial, Monsanto agreed to settle out of court. And they agreed that there would be no gag order. My wife and I could talk about it. I could talk to you about it here tonight. So it was not only a great victory for ourselves, but now it opened it up for all farmers in every part of the world. If you are contaminated, you now have an avenue where you can take not only Monsanto, you could take Bayer, Syngenta, DuPont to court if you are contaminated, because now a precedent has been established.
Percy and Louis Schmeisser have given the world a wake-up call. The jury honors the Schmeissers for their courage in defending biodiversity and farmers' rights, and challenging the environmental and moral perversity of current interpretations of patent laws. It is with very great pleasure that I present the 2007 Bright Lively Award to Percy and Louis Schmeisser.
When I travel around the world and I meet so many people, so many organizations that have such a dedication, they want good food, they want safe food, and they don't want the environment, our air, our land, our soil, contaminated with poisons. And then when I see how hard these people work and for what they believe in, it gives me the courage and the strength to carry on.